Hey guys, I am Bianca. Thank you guys for joining us for today's craft break. Happy early Halloween. Today I will be showing you guys how to make a really cute last minute Halloween headband. And then I also have two other examples that I will show you guys. We won't do those here today, but I will walk you through a couple of those steps so that you can try them at home yourself. This is the actual headband that we will be doing here together. So this is an alien headband and it's really cool. It actually glows in the dark when we turn out the lights. So this is what we'll be doing. And then before we get started, I'll just show you our two other examples here. So this is a Candyland themed headband and I'll explain in a little while how I did this. This one is really cool. This one is my favorite. And then we also have our mermaid headband. So that is what we are doing here together today. And we will be doing that with the help of Mod Podge and some of our favorite folk art paint colors and glitterifics. So I'll go ahead and tell you what materials you will need for the alien headband. Let's pull some of those things out. So we are using Mod Podge, and I am using the matte formula. I am also going to be using Mod Podge Glow in the Dark. And then for the base color of my headband, I am using Folk Art Color Shift, and this is the green flash color. And then I will be topping it off with Folk Art Extreme Glitter, and this is Peridot. So those are the Mod Podge formulas and the paint that we will be using. But to complete this project, you will also need a headband. You'll also need some styrofoam balls, which I have right here. You're gonna need some hot glue. You're also gonna need some fabric to create the eyes for your headband, and then you're also going to need a toothpick. So those are the supplies. We will go ahead and we will jump into this. So the first step of this project is to base coat your headband. Like I said, I went with the green flash color shift. You can of course use whatever color you would like. I just thought it'd be really cool to use this really pretty green color since it is an alien. But I think you could use purple. I think that would also be really cool. A purple, maybe even a pink or a blue. I think those are really alienish too.
Anything that looks otherworldly, right?
Right. So you're gonna base coat your headband. I've already gone ahead and done it here. You can see it. This is really pretty. I like how the light bounces off of this color. So you're gonna base coat your headband. You'll set that off to the side and let it dry. So we're gonna go ahead and set that one off to the side. The next step is to grab some styrofoam balls and paint them with the same color that you painted your headband with. I've already gone ahead and pre-painted some of mine, but you're gonna do 3 different sizes. So you want one large, you want one medium-sized styrofoam ball, and then you want one small. So it's kind of gonna look like a snowman when we finish here. And you are going to need 9 balls in total for this project. All right. So after you have painted your balls and all of them are dry, you're gonna set them off to the side. And then you're gonna cut some fabric into circles. So this is where our Mod Podge comes in at. I have already gone ahead and cut some circles. So this is gonna be our eyeball. So you can see I cut out a white circle and then I cut out a smaller black circle, and I'm gonna put it right there in the middle, and we're gonna use Mod Podge to hold this together. So I will go ahead and pour some out. And if you didn't catch that earlier, I am using the matte formula. So I'm gonna pour just a little bit out. And just grab a regular paintbrush, and I'm gonna add just a little bit, and we're gonna add it to the back of our black circle. I'm going to put it right there in the middle. And let's just do a little more just to make sure it stays down. This will dry clear. All right. So that is one of our eyeballs. And then we're going to use Mod Podge again to attach it to the largest styrofoam ball that we have here. We're going to put it right there in the middle. So let's paint some Mod Podge onto the ball. And then we'll stick on our fabric eyeball. So this is just a really quick and fun last minute headband. I think it took me less than 40 minutes to assemble it. Everything dries pretty quickly. So if you're a last minute person like me, this is something you can do 2 hours before and get away with it. All right. So I have some Mod Podge here. I'm going to go ahead and stick the eyeball on. And we're just going to kind of mold it to the shape of the styrofoam ball here. And then we'll top it off again with another coat of Mod Podge just to make sure that it stays down and sticks. So see, that goes on really quick. We'll add another layer of Mod Podge here. And you're going to repeat this step for at least 6 more of your styrofoam balls. I'm going to show you guys the finished example really quickly. So this is what it looks like when you have your fabric eyeball glued onto your styrofoam ball. Again, like I said, it will dry clear. I have a finished one ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side. But before we move on to the next step, I just want to show you the finished example. So I chose to only do 6 eyeballs, but you can definitely do all 9 of your styrofoam balls if you'd like to. So you're just going to repeat that step for these 2, for the other 2 big ones, and then 3 more for your smaller ones that are stacked on top of your bigger styrofoam balls.
Awesome. Super simple.
Yeah, super, super simple, super, super easy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set this back off to the side for just a second. The next step is to assemble one of your, I don't know, what do we want to call this? It kind of looks like a unicorn horn almost.
Mm-hmm.
We'll assemble our eyes together, our alien unicorn horn. Okay, so I have 3 of our dried styrofoam balls here. I am going to use hot glue to attach the 2 smaller ones together first. So we will add just a little there and stack this right on top. Actually, let's add a little bit more. Stack that right on top. And like I said, once you assemble it, it kind of looks like a tiny snowman. And then we're going to use a toothpick to assemble these 2 onto our larger ball. And that is just for some extra stability because this last one is kind of bigger than the other 2. So those 2 are already stuck together. So I'm just going to take the toothpick, I'm going to stick it right into the top of the styrofoam ball. And then I'm going to take our 2 smaller balls and stick them right on top of that. Bam.
Easy.
Super quick, super, super easy. So I already have our other 2 horns assembled. So I'll set them here so you guys can see it. This is what they should look like when you finish. And like I said, you can fill in the other 3 balls at the top if you would like. But for my design, I just chose to go with 6 eyeballs. I thought it looked really cool. So the next step, I used extreme glitter, and it's a green color. I'll go ahead and pour some out.
I'm sensing a theme in our colors here.
Yes, I chose to stick with green all the way throughout. And we do have some other really pretty glitterific colors that I will show you guys. I'll pull them out so that you can see them. I chose to go with this one because the glitter in this one is really fine. So let's move this paintbrush out the way. We'll bring another one in. Before I paint these with our extreme glitter, I'm going to show you some other really nice colors that you could use if you didn't want to go with this one. So it gives the same effect. The only difference is with glitterific, your chunks of glitter are a little bit bigger. So here are some other really nice colors. We have lime neon, which would be a great alternative if you didn't want to go with the green color that we're using here. Another one is this really pretty red color here. And then we have clear hologram. And I used a few of these paints on the other examples that I showed you guys earlier, so we'll go back through these towards the end. But I just wanted to show you some alternative glitter paints that you could use. And here's another one, pink neon. All right, so we will go ahead and we will add a coat of our extreme glitter onto our alien horns here. So this, just kind of like the Mod Podge, will dry clear. It just takes a little bit of time. So it starts off looking like that, but once you let it sit, it dries totally clear. So we'll just add a coat all throughout. And if you want it to be really, 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 really glittery, you can add a second coat. It dries clear, but the glitter really pops through. So you won't see this kind of tinted green color, you'll only see the glitter once it's done. So that is one. We'll set this one off to the side. We will work on our other two. I always like to ask if we have anyone watching from anywhere else. We'd love to hear where you're watching from. Or if you're working on any Halloween costumes yet. We'd love to hear what you plan to be or what you are over there crafting up. We'd love to hear about it.
I'm trying to decide which of these headbands is my favorite, and I think that the alien is pretty close, but I still think that Candyland is my favorite, like yours.
Candyland is my favorite too. And not even because of how it looks, but more so what went into making it. Mm-hmm. I think the supplies and the materials were really cool. All right. So after you have painted your styrofoam balls with your glitterific or your extreme glitter, the last step would be to add your glow-in-the-dark Mod Podge. Well, the second to the last step would be to add your glitterific Mod Podge. That step is optional. However, I think it's really cool, especially if you'll be out at a night party where like the lights are off. That'd be really cool. All right. So these are pretty good and covered. Like I said, depending on how intense you want your glitter to be, you can add a second coat of your glitter paint. So we'll leave these like this for now. And then I will talk about the glow-in-the-dark Mod Podge that we have here. So this is a really cool Mod Podge formula. I really love to use this around Halloween time. I will throw a coat of this on absolutely anything. And it really does glow in the dark. So you can put this on pretty much anything, guys. So after the glitter paint dries on your eyeballs here, all you're gonna do is go back over them with a coat of Mod Podge. As it dries, if you want to cut the lights off and you want to see whether or not it's totally covered, or if you have a UV light, you can go over it. You can add a second or third coat if you feel like you're missing a few patches. Just continue to add some layers until it is fully dried. Turn off the lights and you will definitely see this thing glow in the dark. So that is what you would add onto this once this finishes drying. Like I said, this step is optional, but I just think it's really cool. And then the very last step for your headband would be to hot glue your stacked styrofoam balls onto your headband. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull out our finished example. But literally, guys, all you do, these are still drying, but all you're gonna do is just add hot glue to the bottom of your ball here and add it on. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull out our finished example just to show you guys again what that looks like once all three of your stacked horns are on your headband. So this is what it looks like. So you can use hot glue if you have any like a really strong adhesive glue. Aleene's fast drying glue is really, really good. You could also use that as well. So this is what this headband looks like once it is totally finished. I really love this. And I will go ahead and I'll go over our other two headbands if you would like to try these two designs. So the one we were just talking about is the Candyland headband. This one is really cool, really fun, really creative. And like I was saying, it's my favorite, not necessarily because of the look, but I had a lot of fun making this. So the cupcake is just a Christmas ornament stuffed inside of a cup that I cut in half. And I use Mod Podge to wrap scrapbook paper around the cup. And then this is just yarn. So I added Mod Podge onto the Christmas ornament, and then I wrapped my yarn around until it was fully covered. And then up here, this is just another styrofoam ball, and I added the glitterific red color onto it to give it that pop of glitter. So that is how the cupcake was made. And I pretty much repeated the same thing for the lollipop that we have here. The only difference is that I did not put it inside of a cup. And then I went in with the glitterific again. And this one here is the clear hologram. So I'll hold it up so you guys can see it. That's what it looks like when it is dried.
Kim says that she likes this one too.
Thank you, Kim. And then I'll show you some other areas where I use Mod Podge. So this is styrofoam here, the donut. And these are actually real sprinkles. So after I painted my donut, and I did use folk art colors with this as well, I went over the top of the donut with Mod Podge gloss. I sprinkled on my real sprinkles, and then I went back over it again with another layer of Mod Podge to hold the sprinkles in place. So that is how I got the donut done. And then over here, kind of the same thing with the cupcake and the lollipop. I took a styrofoam ball and I wrapped the yarn around with Mod Podge. That's how I got the yarn to stick on. And then same thing with the donut. I added the Mod Podge on top of the yarn, sprinkled the sprinkles on, then added another layer of the Mod Podge to hold the sprinkles in place.
What did you say that the cone was again? Like the cone part of the cone?
The colored part of the cone?
No, like the material that it's made
Oh, this
from.
is yarn.
Okay, got
Yep,
you.
that is just yarn with Mod Podge on top of it.
Cool.
So that is this is actually a light pink, but I like that the Mod Podge actually made it like a dark
yeah.
tinted color.
That's
so
cool.
that is the Candyland headband, and then hot glued each piece onto the headband.
Samantha says that I think this is awesome.
Thank you. So I'm excited about this one. I have to use the hashtag so that everyone can go and see it. Or you guys can follow me on Instagram at I am Bianca Octavia if you would like to see me when I actually do wear this. So I will show you guys our other headband. Here, let's just set this one here for a second. This is the last one.
Last but not least.
Last but not least.
This one is very intricate.
This one is very intricate, but you can still do this last minute. All of these were still quick. Like, it does not take a day or 3 days to make any of these. I think I made all of these within an hour.
I want to zoom in on this one so people can see all the little details here.
So these are all just shells from the dollar store, guys. I know this looks fancy and like intricate. You can probably get away with making this for less than $10. So with this headband, I started by painting my shells with the clear hologram. But I think that this will also be a really nice color to use as well, the pink neon. Optional, but I did use the clear hologram for this, and you can kind of see that all the way throughout.
Show them what it looks like from the top. Like,
Okay.
I want them to see all of the little details here. Yeah, this one is
Really detailed and intricate. So
super.
I base coated my headband first, and then I hot glued some pieces of styrofoam onto the top of the headband, and then what I did was poured Mod Podge onto the top of the styrofoam to get the jewels to stick on, and then I went over them again with another layer of Mod Podge to hold them in place. And then for the back shells, I did use hot glue to hold them in place, but then when I went through, because sometimes hot glue can be chunky, you don't want to see all those strings and all of those clumps, I used Mod Podge to hold in all of the smaller pieces that you see here. So the shells, the smaller shells that you see, and then the gems and the pearls. These are all held in by Mod Podge. So I just kind of went through and layered them on top of each other. This was really, really easy. I didn't go in any particular pattern. I didn't plan it out. I just stuck things on top of each other. And then for the horns here, these are just toothpicks, guys. And I painted the toothpicks with treasure gold, and then I went over them with another glitterific color. So I'll hold this up so that you can see it. So these are just toothpicks.
Super cool.
Yeah. These are just toothpicks. And you can stick them right into the styrofoam. And that is how this one was made, guys. So yeah, this one is really detailed, but I promise this does not take a long time to make, even though it looks really detailed. If you sit down for about an hour, you can knock this out, I think, within 60 minutes. So this is a really intricate and cool headband that you can make at the last minute. I'll pull our other two out so that you can see them again. See them all together.
Very cool.
And those are our 3 headbands.
I like that they're all 3 very different from each other, and it's like you get, an option. You get options from this grouping here.
It's like a set of friends with very different personalities.
Right. Right.
So these are our last minute headbands. If anybody has any questions about any of them before we get out of here, or if you want me to point out any of the paint colors that we used, I definitely can do so.
I also like that the Candyland one, the donut on the side, kind of gives it like a Disney feel on a way with like the Mickey Mouse thing. I think that's very cool.
And with this one too, I really like how the Mod Podge gloss formula makes it like a glazed donut. Let me hold that up real quick.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like actual glaze, where you can see it like
that's a really nice touch.
Shiny. And then over here on the ice cream cone as well.
Yeah, I had no idea that the ice cream was yarn.
Yep.
Yeah. And I also thought that the like the berry on top of the cupcake was like actual play food too. I wouldn't have known that
Nope.
that was styrofoam.
Nope. So the same styrofoam balls that we used here are the exact same type of styrofoam ball that I just used here. I just painted it with one of our red folk art colors and topped it off with glitter effect.
Awesome. Well, Bianca, I think everybody is loving these headbands.
Thank you,
And I hope
guys.
that we have inspired you guys to make some last-minute costumes. I also think headbands are just good for any costume because you don't have to go
Right.
crazy with every piece of your outfit. Like,
You just throw on a headband and call it a day.
yeah, make the rest of your outfit match, and
The headband is the moment.
people get the point. Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Bianca.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We will be back next time for another craft break. I will be back next Wednesday at 3 p.m. If you make anything that you see here or any type of headband using any of the paint colors that we just used or Mod Podge, please hashtag Plaid Crafts so that we can see what you come up with and so that we can thumbs up it. Thank you guys.